Oh, Sony, you silly little salmon, you. I can't even deny your success that you have with the Spider-Man movies. They've been great, and I gotta give it to you. Credit where credit is due, I will always say, but I'm giving you no credit for what you did to Morbius. We all knew that was going to be a dumpster fire right when we first saw what was going to be happening, and I don't need to get into even what you did to Madam Web. Yeah, but hey, at least something good came out of Madam Web. Now, needless to say, the Venom trilogy had their high points and then some of their low points, but Mr. Sinister is going to give you some takes now that Venom 3 The Last Dance is out. So grab your bottles of sake, your fidget spinners, and put on your tinfoil hats. Let's have some fun. So let's start off what was great. Tom Hardy is a phenomenal actor. I can't deny anyone else saying that he was perfect choice for this role. And you have to give the man the effect that he wanted to do this role because his son was ultimately a giant Venom fan, and he did it for his son. You can't hate the man for that at all. Woody Harrelson as Carnage. I knew he was going to be a good sadistic sociopathic murderer when I saw him Into the Furnace with Christian Bale. Great movie. He could play this role very well. Thankfully, Sony listened to us to get rid of that stupid fucking hair.
Death to you, Father.
No!
Not you, Father. You.
VFX. I thought the way they did the VFX throughout this trilogy was done very well. Carnage looked very good, and I can't complain the way that Venom looked either. All the transformation scenes were done very good. But unfortunately, this is where the negatives have to come into play. One of the largest gripes that I know I have had with this trilogy, as well as a lot of people can other agree, but not, hey, who the hell cares? Let me know in the comment section below, what did you think about the Venom trilogy from Sony? Yeah, now I know there's going to be a legal issue, but yeah, no Spider-Man.
What the fuck?
The fact that there was no Spider-Man in this Venom trilogy just does not do it any favors. Venom works best with Spider-Man fighting back against each other, not this antagonist-protagonist BS that we got from this plundering nightmare, but Spider-Man was absolutely needed. Yes, the legal issues notwithstanding, could have made it 1,000 times better.
The Daily Bugle will not rest until we've uncovered the web of lies. I'm Jacob.
False hope. We all saw this set that we thought we were maybe going to get something that could entail these two together, but no, didn't pay off at all. It's done enough through all the Sonyverse movies, and yes, understandably so, Sony has to know that the legal rights issue with Marvel did not help, but especially did not help in Venom The Last Dance. It sounds like we got blue-balled more than your average 2024 Twitch streamer. Okay, but things get changing again when you get Baron Mordo, who's going to be playing an officer in Venom The Last Dance. You want to explain why they even did this? I know there's going to be different universes and they can have different characters, but you're still going to play with the audience. And you did the same thing by using Dr. Connors from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. You just made him an Area 51 hippie all throughout that had very little plot development, and all it did was just confuse the audience even more. There was no point on even doing this, just to blue ball us even more, Sony. You could have taken Mrs. Chen's character out of the entire movie, all of the trilogies. She bared nothing. There was no point to her, except even though in Venom The Last Dance, if he would turn on full Venom mode, they would be able to find him because he has the codex inside of him. But nope, they still did it anyways. That all is to say, my dear sinners, that the way they were able to set up Venom The Last Dance, it could have just been so much better. There are so many things that they could have done instead of focusing on this little ham sandwich as much as they tried to. A lot of us even thought, is this going to be a young Peter Parker? What were they even trying to do? And just going to make me want to go headbutt a pitchfork for a while. Yeah, the new big bad at the end of Venom The Last Dance, and you even saw it in the teaser trailer for everything else, of the new super bad villain Crawl, who was supposed to be the overlord of the symbiote power enterprise. But yeah, you only get a teaser of him in the last maybe few seconds of the movie alone. You feel no empathy for this guy. You feel no intimidation by him. What is he even going to offer to anyone? Absolutely nothing. I mean, look how they introduced Thanos into the MCU. Very first Avengers movie, you got a little tease of him right at the end, and you knew that. You should have done it with Crawl right from the very beginning at the very first Venom, but you didn't. Instead, you just left with punchy little updates of what we think we're going to get, and we were wrong almost every step of the way. Now, I know that sounds very critical of what I've been saying about this movie and all my other feelings about it, but honestly, when these soldiers could have even had these new Venom symbiotes that were scattered around the Earth, that could have been a lot more interesting and give us a little bit more details. But needless to say, Venom The Last Dance was just a big disappointment for me. I would have loved to see more of Toxin in this movie. Toxin was a very interesting character, but unfortunately, even the actor didn't get a lot of on-screen time because he was just standing around in a cell the whole time. They could have done so much more with him. Yeah, definitely the rating. If they would have made the Venom trilogy R-rated, that could have done so much more good use to this franchise. It could have played off a lot better. Venom is naturally a violent character, and I don't even need to go into the aspects of why Cletus Cassidy, especially Carnage, should have been R-rated also. But Sony decided to give the R rating out of all of this time to Kraven the Hunter.
Why? 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 Why?
Ultimately, that's why this trilogy was such a disappointment for me. I knew what we could have gotten with the Venom trilogy if they would have just done these simple things, but sometimes you don't always get what you want. The first Venom will always be my favorite. The second one was disappointing, and the third one gave us no payoff to what we at least could have had. But hey, the low was definitely better than Madam Web, that's for sure. Thank you for joining me. Please like this video, share this video out there. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And as always, until we meet again.